Innovative.
Solutions. Can you imagine how much genius and focus it took to turn a music player into a handheld computer phone, GPS, remote control for everything in life in just 5 years? Seriously.
Innovative.
Solutions.
The more you know, the less you fear.
Revolutionize business models and make old ones obsolete or not. One thing is for certain, today we compete on service, price or innovation, and the expectations and metrics around each are tighter than ever.
What's working, what's not, who's competent, who's not.
And that's all about how do you deal with failure.
Open more stuff. That's what economists call growth.
Innovative.
Solutions.
Prepared and presented by Francisco Porras Jr. Weekdays here on the Nation Station.
Innovative.
Solutions.
The Research Council, in collaboration with Sultan Qaboos Higher Center for Culture and Science, has announced the winners for the 4th Research and Innovation Award in Water Science, which received 95 local and regional applications for various categories of the award. The 22nd of March, celebrating World Water Day. We have one of the brilliant scientists we have, Dr. Mohamed Al Rawahi. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you for the invitation. Things are going well. And this award actually it's part of the Water Strategic Research Program. For this program, it's actually come as a recommendation from the 3rd Symposium of Sultan Qaboos Scientific Chairs, which were organized by Sultan Qaboos Higher Center for Culture and Sciences. That actually was back in 2014, and this actually symposium held in Tokyo that time. And the outcome of this symposium, or the main outcomes, especially for our program, it's 2 recommendations. One recommendation is to establish a program where we can fund research projects related to water science. And the other recommendation is to establish an award for those people who are doing research or innovation in water science. Okay. And based on that, we started, organizing this award, and now we are in the 4th round. It's 2019-2020, and this award has like 2 main categories: the publication category and the innovation category. Okay. For the publication, we have also 2 subcategories: the PhD holders and non-PhD holders. So we are receiving applicants with the good publications. Some of them are PhD holders, scientists and professors in the academia. And publications from non-PhD holders, like postgraduate students, like PhD students who are they still not graduated, or master students as well, or even bachelor students. And the other category we have, it's the innovation category. We also have 2 subcategories. One is for innovation, and the other one it's for, we call it young innovator. This subcategory actually we organize it with the Ministry of Education, and it's kind of encouraging and seeding the culture of innovation within the school, within the students as well. So we are organizing all these different categories among this award. Okay. Yeah.
So how many winners do we have right now?
For the winners, normally we have like 5 winners from for example, the young category. We have like 5 winners, and we have it like for first place we have 1,200 Riyal. For the second place we have like 1,000 Riyal, and for the third 800 Riyal, and for the fourth 500, and also for the 5th place 500. This only for the young innovators. For the publications, we have only 2 winners. One is for non-PhD, and the second one it's for the PhD, and for each winner it's 2,000 Riyal, the award for this for publication. Okay. This year in 2000 in the 4th round, for each category, for publication, PhD holder, we split. We have like 2 winners for this PhD holder, and we have also 2 winners for non-PhD holder. For the PhD holder, the winners this year is from Dhofar University. This is for PhD holders. We have like a research team led by Dr. Arif Wazwaz. And the research title, it's removing heavy metals through different types of soils and marbles powder found in Oman. So this is the first winner from the PhD holder. The second winner it's from Hamad bin Khalifa University from Doha, from Qatar. The research team led by Chief Treki from Hamad Khalifa University. But the other team are also from Sultan Qaboos University and other Omani researchers as well. And the title of the research was an artificial intelligence approach for the stochastic management of coastal aquifers. It's about the aquifers, coastal aquifers, and the problem of
the
seawater intrusion and this kind of problems. For non-PhD holders, we have also a research team. For example, the first one, the winner was like Afrah Ashkeli, and with other the research team with the supervisors and others. And we have the other also non-PhD winner was Mahmoud Al-Ma'mari, and he is actually a student in Tokyo University, also with his research team. And his for example, research title was about real-time measurement of flush flooding in Wadi area by ISOBV and STIV.
Okay.
This was like for publication. We also have the winners, for example, for young innovators from the schools. We have like from School Abu Al-Mu'thar, from the students.
The high school student?
We are targeting actually from 10th till 12th grade. We have like 5 winners. I don't know if I have to mention the names because for all these names you have a lot of names. But the beauty of it, we have like different in terms of gender, we have females and males. In terms of different governorates, we have like from schools from the interior governorate, we have schools from Dhofar, we have winners from Musandam as well, from Muscat. So this is kind of or the beauty of this award, and how we can encourage students to really think about challenges that they're facing every day and how they come with innovations and solutions for these challenges.
This is very good.
This is really very good, and that will be it's kind of seeding this culture within the students. So when they grow up and they graduated and they go to the university, or even after that, they can really have this kind of critical thinking and really think how to bring solutions for different challenges. Of course, we have the award as well for innovation, for the the innovation. This time, unfortunately, we withheld the first and the third winners.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but we have only the second winner, and they are from Sultan Qaboos University, Ali Musavi and Tahira Jafari, and the title of their innovation was a Smart Water and Wastewater Monitoring System for All-Purpose Applications.
Okay.
And they are the winners. For each category, actually, we have a committee. We establish a committee from technical people who are really can judge and evaluate these applicants. So before we really awarding the award for these winners were evaluated, and they came and present their innovation or their publications and these things. Actually, for the innovation, we are doing this kind of evaluation. For the publication, we have a committee where they can evaluate. We have like different criteria for evaluation for the publications.
Okay.
And the committee evaluated these different, publications and these things, and they came up with this, the winner. This is also like a brief about everything. Yeah.
So who checks the projects that they have? The winners,
exactly. Yeah. For example, for publications, every year we are really evaluating the topics of these publications, because we are talking about water science, but we have like a spectrum of different themes or science that really lie under the water science. For example, this year we noticed that a lot of publication has like related to nanotechnology and these things.
Okay.
So based on that, we start to establish the committee.
Okay.
We bring people that they have the experience, they are experts in these fields. Before we give them
so different experts,
and every year we established a different committee, because we learned actually from the first and the second round. We had like a fixed committee, but then we realized that
it's foreign to them.
Sometimes it's very difficult for them to evaluate publications or something that it's not their really major or their experts in that field. So based on that, we are establishing a committee. We had like this year committee from Sultan Qaboos University, from Nizwa University, even from industry. We have like experts from industry.
Okay, private sector,
absolutely. who are really experienced, especially when we are talking about water. We are talking about, desalination and water treatment, like from Haya. We have some experts involved also in these committees. We have also from Mijis, from
Midrek,
different, absolutely. From Midrek, we have in this committee as well. And based on that, we did this evaluation. For example, for the innovators also came to TRC, and the committee were like evaluating them directly. They give a presentation. They also brought some of them, they brought the things that the innovation that they did, like if there is like columns or something, or at least a prototype of what they did, and they live demonstrate what they are doing.
We're going to be back for a bit and continue our discussion in just a while.
Innovative
Solutions. Can you imagine how much genius and focus it took to turn a music player into a handheld computer phone, GPS remote control for everything in life in just 5 years? Seriously.
Innovative
Solutions.
The more you know, the less you fear.
Revolutionize business models and make old ones obsolete or not. One thing is for certain, today we compete on service, price or innovation, and the expectations and metrics around each are tighter than ever.
What's working, what's not, who's competent, who's not.
And that's all about how do you deal with failure.
Open more stuff. That's what economists call growth.
Innovative
Solutions.
Prepared and presented by Francisco Porras Jr. Weekdays here on the Nation Station.
Innovative
Solutions.
Welcome back to Innovative Solutions. When was this? Last week or 2 weeks ago?
It was like 3 weeks ago, actually.
3 weeks ago.
For 3 weeks, yeah.
So
the people, when they apply, we actually opened the application last year till December. We had like
all right. Okay, so they just got to go to the website.
Exactly, and we announced it in the website. We announced it in different, in the social media and Twitter and everywhere. We announced about the water award, and
They just fill up the application there.
yeah, absolutely, and they have to just submit. We have like in the website we have a link where they can electronically submit their publications and everything. This year we had some technical difficulties when they apply, and we did some of them manually. They send it via email, but anyhow, all the communication, or when we announce it, we use the social media, and even in the we have like a press in the press and in the TV and everywhere we have like an announcement about it's open to apply for the research and innovation award for water sector for water science.
For example, for each category, there's a bit of a criteria there, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Can you explain to us what are the criteria there?
It's there is like criteria. For example, if we will talk about the young innovator, we have like a certain criteria about the grades that we are targeting.
Okay.
What they are doing. What is the impact? Sometimes for publication, for example, we have a criteria about the novelty of this research idea, about, for example, if they are like a first author of this project or who is applying for this project. Also, we are looking for the impact factor of the journal where they publish their publications. For the innovation, of course, we have different criteria as well. Like, for example, it's the same in terms of novelty. What is the impact of this one? How it's related to Oman, for example. So we have a list of criteria for each category where that help the committee as well to to rank or to distinguish between the different applicants. Sometimes we receive like applications or innovations that it's absolutely not related to Oman.
Okay.
It's an innovative idea. It's very good, but it's really solve an issue which is not related to Oman.
So what kind, for example?
For example, if there is like an innovation that deal with the wastewater comes from industry that it's not existing even in Oman, like for example, in the river there is like some waste going to that because of the dye.
Yes.
It goes to the river from textile, for example, industry, or for example something absolutely. This is kind how we judge this kind of innovation. Sometimes it's related to Oman, but we think about it: is it novel or not novel? Sometimes it's kind of repetition of other already existing innovation, or something like this. So we have this criteria, and based on that, the committee have even a form when they evaluate. So every time we have like a round, and innovator come and present his innovation, and then we have this form, and the committee, each member of the committee, they rank and put the score of this innovator. And at the end of all the evaluation, we calculate the total score for each one, and then we rank them based on these criteria. So this is how the committees are working and how they evaluate, because we want to have like transparency and also have something really because if you give them to evaluate without any criteria, it will be a mess. You will come up with different opinion. But with this one, and do it once, and everyone was like happy about it. After that, we have like a last round with all the committee member to double check if they are really agree about the final results and everything. Because sometimes when you evaluate the first innovator or the first paper or something like this, and then you discover the record that or the number that you give it to that one, it's really high relative to the other one. The other guy after him, he's better than him, but you already give that one higher score. So some of the committee members, they also go and change and double check, because at the first evaluation they don't have a reference.
Okay.
You know what I mean. Yeah. Sometimes when they do it for all of them, then they have this kind of reference and they reevaluate again what they did again. Yeah.
So how do you check the credibility of the work?
Of course, what we are doing before we jump to this evaluation procedures and these things, or before we get this stage, we have like a screening stage before.
Okay.
The screening stage, we did it within TRC. We have a team actually. When we receive the applicants, we screen them because we have also criteria when we announce for the award. And based on that criteria, we screened all these applications, and we also evaluate. Sometimes we received nothing. We received only titles without content. Sometimes some people have an idea, but they just submitted the idea without any content, without anything. So
how would you deal with that? Like no description.
We communicated with them. We communicated with them, described for them. Okay, you applied, but you have to fulfill all these things. You cannot apply with the only idea and small drawings or something. You have to give us a clear things, because the people, they have to. The committee, they have to evaluate this idea. But
did something surprise you there?
Unfortunately, some of the applicants, especially if they are not really scientific or researchers or something, they don't have the basic of research. They don't have the basics of innovation and research, and even they did not they did not do the basic literature review about what they did. If you have an idea, you have at least you go and check in the internet.
Each of the ideas there has a prototype.
If we talk about innovation, absolutely. Publications, it's only a publication. We are only awarding the publications. For the innovation, they have prototype. Even for the young innovator, they have a prototype.
Okay, so
they demonstrate this prototype during the jury, during the evaluation committee.
So how many are there who participated in the innovation?
Exactly. We have, for example, for the young innovator, we have for example, this year 43 innovator.
Okay, from different schools.
From different schools. But when we did the first screen for them, we end up with 13 good innovation that could reach this stage of evaluation and these things.
Okay.
The previous 43, actually the first screening for the young innovator, it's actually done by the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
Because we are collaboratively doing this with the Ministry of Education. So they received the 43 applicants, and then they screened them. They found, for example, sometimes applicants are not in this grade. Sometimes they are young, and sometimes this kind of criteria. So they screen them, and we end up with 13 young innovator. For publications, we have 18 in total. 18 publications for the young, for the PhD holder and non-PhD holder. For the innovation after screening and these things, we have 9 innovators with a good innovation that we could really evaluate them. And unfortunately, for example, for the innovation, the committee, it's not it's not TRC or not me as a manager for the program. The committee decided to withhold the first place and the third place.
Where was that?
Actually, we compare. For example, we felt that the committee actually felt that the level of the innovators or the innovation that they evaluate, it's not really within their expectation. They feel it's not really deserve to have like the first place in this time. And that one, with the one they give the second place, it's really fit within the second place. But then they just declined the others, and they said even the third place, they believe that it's not
still
within
raw.
this level. Yeah, exactly.
Still raw or something.
Yeah. And we compare it with other, because we have also another award. It's called Salala Water and Wastewater Award.
Yes.
And for that one, we had a different approach from this award.
Okay.
And that one, we have like a preliminary workshops where we sat with all applicants and feed them with how they should really present their idea, how they should come with the idea. We even give them presentation and training about business, how they put economics in these things, because when you talk about innovation, you have to think about what the economics will come this innovation, how you will tackle these challenges, and what the direct and indirect benefit will come from this innovation.
The uses.
Exactly. And we also give them presentation or training about IP, how they protect their idea, how they are doing this. And we discovered, or we noticed that time, and that with this kind of training and engagement and workshops, the level of applications, it's different. Even within the same applicants, they go back, and they modified what they did, and they modified the things, and they came up with the good ideas.
Okay.
And we end up, after we did this round, now we actually have a recommendation to do the same things that we are doing in the other award. So inshallah, next time in the 5th round, we have to do this kind of engagement and workshops, and at least make awareness for people, the applicants, what is the important things they should focus on, and how they can protect their idea, and what is the business behind it, and how their idea should be really have this kind of novelty, and they should do their homework.
Yes.
But we have to feed them somehow in a good way.
So how do you guys promote this one? Are there companies already interested with the project?
Absolutely. We, for example, last year from the 3rd round, normally what we are doing like a forum, or at least participating in a conference where we really celebrate and do the ceremony for awarding these winners. And last year, for example, we had an exhibition where we also invited the companies in this forum, and they also the winners, they can exhibit their innovation prototypes and these things, and also the companies, they have like their other innovative ideas or products as well. And last time, for example, some of the innovators had this kind of discussions and have kind of meeting with the industry, and some of the industry have this willingness to trial some of the innovation. Unfortunately, one of them still not finalized to be trialed within the industry. But this kind of how we try to promote. Even we came up with this, like the second level of this innovation, and we asked this innovator to draft a proposal to link them also with the industry. This year, unfortunately, our plan was to have like a session within the conference within SQU. But due to coronavirus spread and COVID-19 disease and this all meetings.
How did it affect you, the corona thing right now?
It's affecting all our activities because you noticed now, for example, from this award or even other things, it's always based on communication and meetings and evaluation and engagements, and we cannot do it anymore now because of this situation. Even the forum or the conference that we plan to participate in, now we hold because this conference postponed to the end of this year. So we actually decided to postpone our activities till decision about it. The plan now to have it in September or October, but we don't know what will happen. But as an award, we will of course send the award for the winners now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good to send it now because it has this kind of it's not good to delay everything.
Yes. Yeah.
But anyhow, if things will go smooth and the disease will disappear, or at least we can do this conference, then we can have this ceremony, and then again we try to link them with industry, with other research team, where they can leverage the outcome to another level. Because for a research or for innovation, you have to go in different steps. We always use some scale called TRL, technology readiness level, where we categorize. It's actually a global one. It's actually developed by NASA, and even before NASA, but it has this kind of terminology, technology readiness level by NASA. And the idea is to categorize the technology from it's only an idea till it's reached the market. So any research, any idea should go through a research. Normally TRL from 1 to 3, it's a basic research. Then it goes to applied research, where you have like prototyping, testing, early and late testing, and these things. Then you go to piloting of this idea. Then you go link it with the industry and go to commercialization and these things.
There's a lot of several phases there, huh?
Exactly. So we are trying actually to leverage the outcomes from this award with the winners and these things, and at least do piloting or link it with industry. And even if there is like a potential to have like a startups or commercialization, or even if they have a patent, for example, for their idea, then we can like sell the license and commercialize it in this way with the industry, who are really interested in such innovation. So we are trying to do these things. It's not easy. It's very, very difficult. We are talking about, here in Oman, the industry, it's more, we are talking about oil and gas industry more than other industry. It's not like but we are trying our best to really give this pathway for research and innovation. It goes through this maturation funnel until it reach the industry.
So what's next for these guys, actually? Are they going to present this to the international market, or probably you have another competition coming up internationally or something?
For this purpose, actually, we have another programs in TRC. One of them, what we have talked this morning, it's EJAD, for example. EJAD is the main objective of EJAD, to have this kind of bridging the gap between academia and the industry. And EJAD, actually, if we will talk about levels, EJAD is covering the above 3, from 4, which is applied, till commercialization.
Okay.
So within this program, and even other programs, if we will talk about the Research Council, we have also other programs in terms of incubation and doing technology acceleration, and we have the prototyping workshops. Now we have also in TRC. So anyone has a innovative idea, they can also in the prototype workshop, they can also do this their prototypes and link it with the industry using, for example, the themes, and using the applied and then EJAD program. So they will try to link it with the industry to do pilot project, and then go further with commercialization as startups, or registered as a small as LLC, or a small medium enterprise, or something like this. So we have different programs, but sometimes, especially for researchers, you need to give them also incubation and training in business, and how they have started their business, and how they will deal with it as a business. They need to go through this kind of incubation. Sometimes we have some programs in collaboration with Riyada and with others. So we have this kind of collaboration with other fund and other
stakeholders,
incubation programs, of course, with other stakeholders, to leverage these outcomes to go through a startup, or as enterprises.
So this is the 4th time that you're doing this. What are the developments from the first time that you have this award project?
In each round, we are learning something. For example, in the first and the second round, we are like start this program, start to promote for the program, engage with the academia, engage with everyone, to encourage people to apply, engage with the Minister of Education to encourage the student in the schools about it, and also encourage the teachers to really help the students to apply for this research and to do some innovation and these kind of things. So that what we learned from the first and the second one. The third one, we have somehow matured more, and we think about to do the forum for the winners and bring the industry, and trying to link the industry in that one. And the fourth one, unfortunately, we were like really trying to do something more and link them more and do this kind of, what I have been talked about, link it with other programs, incubation and these things. But unfortunately, due to the situation, we withheld our activity. But anyhow, each round we are really thinking about something more and more, and how we can really let these results and this innovation goes to the market and really do something with the industry.
So how do you assess the whole project that you have recently?
For me, for example, one of the really interesting things, it's the young innovator. When I talked about the innovators, this year it was surprised me the level of the students that we received and applied for the winners. For example, the first winner, Nawaf Al Hanai, he's from the Interior Government. He was like, really. You feel you are talking to a graduate student,
really?
Absolutely, not for
high school, huh?
High school. He was like talking about his innovation was about InFlash, it's called, and he used artificial intelligence, and he programmed all the applications with Python by himself, with all the codes and everything. And he's when we asked him, and by the way, he was like the only one that he presented in English, and very good English. And we asked him, it's very interesting for us to see one in high school in that level. And he told us that he learned by himself everything almost.
Wow.
And he was following even in YouTube. He was following from Google all workshops and webinars and seminars about artificial intelligence, about programming. With Python, with the different things. So, when you feel you are really encouraging people and trying to, put the spotlights on these talents and these, innovators from the schools and encourage this culture, it's you feel proud about it. You feel you really do something here.
Yes.
Maybe it's not, we don't feel the outcome directly now, but at least you put the seeds there and here, and that really what we felt this time. And of course, we have to admit that we are not perfect in terms of and there is like some things we have to do, or the works we have to do, or something more we have to do. Improve. It's to leverage these outcomes with the industry, and because of that, we are really working closely with our colleagues in Egypt and with the industry to really bridge this gap between the academy and the industry, and to really bring all these outcomes, good outcomes and innovation from the labs to the real field.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations. You did a great job there. So personally, talking about your research, which is the water cluster, talk about that research program you have for.
The water cluster, actually, it's started from it's a cluster within the EJAD. We have like projects as well in a collaboration with the Helmholtz Association, German research centers. And we are trying to bring solutions for decentralized wastewater management. We have within this project some student, PhD and master student, where they developed an innovative also ideas and technologies to treat wastewater from decentralized. When we are talking about decentralized wastewater management, if we compare about the situation now, for example, here in Oman or in the big cities and everywhere, we have more a centralized wastewater management, where the whole water convoyed. The whole building is connected with a big network everywhere, and the whole water goes to a centralized STP, sewage treatment plant. And for such management, it's very, very expensive, because almost 70 to 80% of the investment goes to the network. Not to the STP itself. And because of that, we want to bring the central decentralized management, where especially in the remote area and the mountain oases and these small villages, it's very difficult to connect all houses. Especially you are talking about scattered houses there and there, and it's very difficult and very expensive actually to have centralized management.
But there's a plan already, right?
There is a plan, but we already had a talk with Haya, and now they have a plan to not have it fully centralized, to have also a decentralized option, because to have like a cluster of houses or even on-site solution, household solution, that will be much more cheaper for the Haya, for example, or the government to deal with this guy. And also it will bring for you a solution for the reuse, because now, for example, in centralized option, you have to bring the water to the centralized plant, and then you have to build another network for the treated effluent to distribute it for, to reuse it. But for household solution or on-site solution, you will have the water there and you can reuse it immediately for irrigation and for other purposes.
So you can save a lot of it.
Save a lot of money for the investment.
Yep.
Reuse the water immediately. And also one part of our project is to develop a new technology where we develop it with the PhD holder, PhD student. And now we already registered it as a patent here in Oman. It's very innovative idea, and this is how we are working. And so the cluster in Ijad, actually, we have this water cluster. It's to deal with the whole water theme.
This is a pretty good idea for everybody, especially right now that water is a little bit scarce because of the situation. Aside from the virus that will be coming in.
Exactly. And in this water global day in 22nd, it's mainly focused this year about the climate change as well, the water and the climate change. And it's very important that we, here in Oman, we admit that we are affected by, this different, effects. Different. Although last year it was a good year for us in terms of rainfall and precipitation, it was really above the average. Even the Ministry of Regional Municipalities and Water Resources, they announced that last year we are above the average of what we received as rain. But we noticed from the historical data that we have that now the dry period become like longer, and then you will have like a wet season, or you have like heavy events and this kind of things. The trend, it becomes more drier, longer period, and then you have like heavy storms or heavy events where the water has no time to really infiltrate and really recharge the aquifers and the groundwater. And we have to deal with this challenge, and we have to adapt with this challenge, because that will be really the trend, and it goes more and more with the time, and it will be more severe in future as well.
So where's the source of the water here coming from?
Mainly the source of water, we have like, we always categorize it as two main sources. We have like conventional water resources and non-conventional water resources. Mainly we call it the rain that goes to the groundwater reach. It's the renewable one, okay. And it's in the groundwater. We have wells, springs, and dams, and these things. So this is the conventional way. The non-conventional ways, we have desalination, and we have the wastewater, the treatment of the wastewater. Okay. And mainly now, because we know we have like an annual of 376 million cubic meter as a shortage. Okay. And we fulfill this shortage by desalination. Okay. So mainly the main source for urban area here, it's desalination. Okay. And even the project now even reached to Jabal Akhdar. For just imagine the desalination from Barka and from other desalination plants. It goes all the way to the interior, and now it's also reached Jabal Akhdar.
How did he reach there? Actually?
Yeah, it's very, very. The government actually invest a lot to make sure that. Because in Jabal Akhdar they were like suffering from scarcity, and a lot, of the government also want to do a lot of investment in terms of, of tourists and hotels and these things.
Yes.
But the water situation was not really in a good manner to capable to handle the number of tourists and also these big hotels and resorts in Jabal Akhdar. So the government decided parallel to really take the water up to Jabal Akhdar in different stages until it's reached only 2019 to Jabal Akhdar, or end of 2019 to end of 2019 to Jabal Akhdar to because of the tourism there and the tourists, and also for the locals as well. So the main source now, in addition to the groundwater, it's desalination to fulfill this shortage.
Yeah, because in some parts of the world, they have also a different source of water, like dams and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
we have dams as well here, but it's mainly we have two types of dams: the recharging dams, where we are, keep the water until recharge also the groundwater. And we have like a Dika dam as well. It's a kind of a reservoir to capture the water there. There's a plan also to use that water, to treat the water and use it for Qarayat and other areas around it in Muscat Governorate. We have dams as well, as I mentioned, and but mainly we are depend on desalination. The tricky or the difficulties or challenges facing desalination, it's also marine, the planktons and other things. It's also affecting the plantation, especially for example, if we talk about the harmful algae, the red tide, for example, or the jellyfish. Sometimes they have a lot of problems with jellyfish. It's outbreak of this kind of planktons and creatures, and it's caused a lot of damaging the intake of this desalination plants as well. So there is also a lot of challenges and difficulties as well within the desalination.
So we're getting desalination from seawater, right?
Seawater, absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Seawater. The SaltNet have been giving a lot of funding here, especially in this.
No, we as a research council, we have like our programs where we do this kind of fundings. And part of the water research strategic programs, we have the fund in cooperation of Sultan Qaboos, the Sultan Qaboos Higher Center of Culture and Sciences. So we have this, the steering committee actually, it's led by His Excellency Habib Al-Riyami. And from this point, I would like to express our grateful and also gratitude for their continuous support for this program as well. And that what we have another part from the program, we have also a funding program for the research, where we received also research ideas and proposals, and especially strategic research ideas, where we are really tackling challenges that really touching the whole nation and touching really the industry or the people here.
Okay, so what are the future directions are you looking into right now?
We really need to link all the outcomes from what we are doing, from the award or from the research itself, the research that we are funding, to the industry, to let it really, applied in the real life. It's not that easy. The uptake by the industry is not that easy. We also have difficulties with the researchers, because normally they are driven by the research idea itself, not driven by the economic or the business. And this is a difficulty. Sometimes you will have a great idea, even globally. If you have like, for example, Google did this, remember the Google Glass?
Yeah, Glass.
But there is no demand for it. So people, they have like fear about it or something, and there is no demand, so it's disappeared now. So if it's an innovative idea. It's a very good idea.
It is a good idea.
But if you have an innovation and there is no demand for this innovation, it will never reach the market. So that's what we are trying to also to embed with the researcher and academia. They had really think out of the box and really think about ideas and research that really linked to the industry, and it has this value proposition, and it has this business flavor.
And benefits also.
Benefits, exactly.
Yeah.
So all for example, from our collaboration with the German Institute, the Helmholtz Association, all research idea, they have to do like a cost benefit analysis as well, and they have to embed this kind of business flavor in the research itself. That's how you can really convince the industry, and how you really leverage the outcomes from the labs and the fields till it reaches the markets, and the startups should comes from this kind of ideas. I think it's a long journey, and we already have a good start. I will not say we are in the middle or in the beginning or in the end, but we have to do a lot. We have to embed this culture. We did our best, for example, for young innovator in the schools, and we have to do a lot also in the academia and with the researchers, and we have to also build the trust with the industry, because this is very important. Sometimes the industry have this kind of, there's no trust about the outcomes and these things. We have to build this one, and we have to do a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
So the Research and Innovation Award for Water Science aspires to develop and strengthen the industry, education, the government providing services in the area, so to focus for another innovations and stimulate the establishment of the Centers for Excellence to move forward, especially for Oman Vision 2040.
Exactly.
Sir, all the best.
Thank you.
Mohamed Al Rawahi, a researcher and a brilliant scientist. Any final words before we wrap things up?
First, I would like to thank you, Frank, for the invitation and to give me this opportunity to express our activities and the award and what we are doing in EJAD and what we are doing in the Research Council in general and different programs. And we hopefully we try to do our best in these programs, and we are looking forward to encourage or leverage the programs and the outcomes from this research to really tackle the challenges, and also to match with the visions, especially Oman 2040 visions, and how we can, because it's the visions itself, Oman 2040 vision, it's also linked with the SDG goals of United Nations. And the SDG goal number 6, it's about providing water and sanitary services for everyone. And I hope what we are doing in terms of project, in terms of building the culture with the school, with the students, or even encouraging the researchers by awarding the publications and the innovators to really get to that goal and really accomplish part of it, at least. With this kind of the goal, or in Oman Vision 2040. So and thank you so much for the invitation and for giving me this opportunity.
So that's Innovative Solutions. Till then, thanks for listening.
Thank
you. Innovative
Solutions. Can you imagine how much genius and focus it took to turn a music player into a handheld computer phone, GPS remote control for everything in life in just 5 years? Seriously.
Innovative
Solutions.
The more you know, the less you fear.
Revolutionize business models and make old ones obsolete or not. One thing is for certain, today we compete on service, price or innovation, and the expectations and metrics around each are tighter than ever.
What's working, what's not, who's competent, who's not.
And that's all about how do you deal with failure.
Opened more stuff. That's what economists call growth.
Innovative
Solutions.
Prepared and presented by Francisco Porras Jr. Weekdays here on the Nation Station.
Innovative
Solutions.